Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back once again to The Drop. This is the official podcast of ComicDrops.com. Hope everyone had a good and tasty Thanksgiving last week. But now that that's over, let's try to hop back into our regular regime of getting news out and knocking these things out. I'm still like kind of rusty because we've been gone for 2 weeks. It's amazing. but with Christmas around the corner, we'll see if we can try to knock these out every single week like we usually do. But holidays and people's schedules and all that, so we'll see. Anyway, I am your host Josh, and joining me today is Ender Lilly. Ender, what's going on, man?
Not too much. Glad to be back. Man,
yes.
It's been a while.
It's been 2 weeks, I think, right? Just 2 weeks?
Yeah, two weeks sounds right.
Yeah. Just seems forever.
Yeah. And last but not least, the man that'll square up on you when it comes to BVS faster than you can say Martha, Alex Batts. Dude, how's it going, man?
What's going on, man? It's crazy that you mentioned that because I was actually thinking about BVS before we started recording.
Surprise. That's a shocker. Amazing. But yeah, it's going to be a shorter episode than usual this week because, like I said, with the holiday coming, the holiday just passed and we're getting into another one pretty soon. There's not a whole lot to cover about, but we've kind of scraped the barrel and found some pretty cool topics. They're still good topics, but, we're used to having more, but let's go ahead and jump right into it with the first one of the day. Katheryn Winnick, who plays Lagertha, I think that's the name, on Vikings, said that she'd be down to play Black Canary in a Green Arrow movie if you actually decide to make one. And for me, just knowing that she is interested is just happy feelings for me, because after I watched the first season of Vikings, which is a pretty good show, by the way, if you like Vikings and stabbings and blood and things like that, she can play a badass character. She can just because of her role on that show, and her Vikings co-host, I forget his name. I think it's Travis Fimmel. He's my choice for Green Arrow. So if they decide to go with Katheryn Winnick as Black Canary, they won't have to look far for Green Arrow. I don't care. You can yell the name Charlie Hunnam as much as you want, Andrew. I don't care.
I just want them to cast Green Arrow so that we can stop seeing that fan cast at this point. He's not my first pick, but at this point I don't even care if he's cast just so that it will stop, No,
I don't want him cast. I do not want Charlie Hunnam anywhere near a DC movie, especially since he has the acting chops of a piece of cheese. I'm sorry.
I've never actually seen him act in anything, so
he's in Sons of Anarchy and he is in Pacific Rim.
Okay.
And he is mediocre at best in both. I don't care what anybody says. He is not a good actor to me, and I don't think that he should be any kind of superhero in anything ever. But that's just my opinion. There are people out there, if you share a different opinion, I'm not going to bash you or anything like that. But me personally, I think anybody but Charlie Hunnam will be a perfect choice. And that perfect choice to me is Travis Fimmel from Vikings and Katheryn Winnick as Black Canary. But Alex, let's start with you. What do you think of Katheryn Winnick as Black Canary? Would you like to see it?
I mean, I suppose at this point, I immediately recognize the name. I haven't seen her in anything also, but I recognize the name because isn't she a super popular fan cast for Black Canary anyways?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've seen her fan cast
she might be
for
number
a while
one
as Black Canary. So the fact that she's expressed interest in it is really cool, especially for a lot of people who have wanted her in that role. And I mean, hearing what you've said, I'd be down for it. I have no complaints about it if it were to happen, but
she has the look down. It's
definitely. Yeah,
it's kind of scary.
Definitely
how much she
looks the part, but I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, I've already said it. Andrew, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I agree. I don't know her at all, but I've heard good things about her. If she's expressing interest in the role, that's even better. I'm probably one of the few who I'm not really crazy about Green Arrow. I like the character, but I'm not really crazy about him getting a movie, especially since we have Arrow. I'm not saying that you have to love Arrow, but I'm just saying that, we've got some property of Green Arrow. So I'm not really in a rush to see a Green Arrow movie. But I'd like to see her in like maybe Birds of Prey if they have the Harley Quinn movie that ends up turning into like a Birds of Prey Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
you want to add something?
No, yeah, I was going to say, it's funny that you mentioned that because while I was writing the article for the one we have on the site, comicdrops.com, that little plug right there,
plug.
Yeah, right? Amazing. 10 out of 10. I came across a rumor from Latino Review that came out like a year ago when they were talking about how Alona Tall, I think that's her name is, and Abby Lee, when they were supposedly on the short list to play Black Canary, they said that if the character and the actress performed up to standards that the way that the studio wanted, that Black Canary would have a more prominent role in the Birds of Prey Gotham City Sirens spin-off film that at that time wasn't really confirmed. But now that Margot Robbie has hired that female writer to kind of, I think, pen the script for it, and now that the movie's starting to, come to life, it's possible that maybe Black Canary will have some sort of role soon, because also in that rumor it said that Black Canary is going to have a cameo in Justice League. Now, I don't know how sure I am on that happening, but
Yeah.
I think having her in Birds of Prey or something like that is a good idea, but definitely try to introduce her beforehand. I don't know.
I agree. Her in Justice League, I don't see that happening. Maybe a name drop, but
because Justice League already has a lot on its plate. You're introducing.
Oh, it has so much.
Yeah, you're introducing a new Jim Gordon. You're trying to bring back Superman. You're trying to bring together the Justice League. You're introducing Steppenwolf. You're probably going to introduce Darkseid, and then all the other references, and then throwing in another hero that's just out there and that they don't. Yeah. I think you know what might happen. I'm just thinking of this right now. When Diana and Bruce are in front of those monitors, and she was like, did he say yes or no or something like that? I feel like then no. We might get a hint at other heroes in the DCEU. Yeah. Just like you said, little name drops, maybe little nods, perhaps maybe a little surveillance cam footage of Green Arrow beating somebody up or something. I don't know, but
yeah, you could do that. You don't even need to have an actor cast.
You could totally have a Green Arrow and Black Canary surveillance cam thing with Bruce going through it, and then him being no, screw that guy because he doesn't like Oliver Queen as the CEO, and he knows about him being Green Arrow.
Yeah, he'd be like they're not ready or something in there.
Yeah, or something. Yeah, that would be cool.
You could do something like that, but yeah, Katheryn Winnick, if you're listening to this, you have my vote. I am with you 100%. Please, I really hope what she said got the attention of Jeff Johns or something, because she'd be perfect. So that's what I think.
I'm sure that someone's made it to get his attention. I butchered that sentence.
Oh, it's all good. I butcher every sentence. It's okay. All right, so moving on. So I think a few days before Thanksgiving last week, a random picture of a 4 with Marvel and Capcom on it came up, and everybody was freaking out because they're like, "Oh my gosh, Marvel versus Capcom 4!" And if you don't know, the whole Marvel versus Capcom video game franchise is basically a bunch of Marvel characters, a bunch of Capcom characters like Mega Man, Ryu, Chun-Li. That big greasy guy looks like he just poured Crisco all over his body. And honestly, I've actually never played a Marvel vs. Capcom game. I feel kind of bad for saying that, but I mean, it's a fighting game, and there really aren't that many different comparisons to the 1,000 that they have on the market right now. But Marvel vs. Capcom has a very special place in geeks' lives, and I respect that. Mm-hmm. And supposedly, Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is currently in development to be released in 2017. There's no official announcement for the game, but rumors and sources, you know how this stuff goes. Everyone kind of says, "Oh, he said, she said," or "We think this," or "We think that." But there is one interesting thing about Marvel vs. Capcom 4 that we have to bring up. And that's the fact that if this supposedly, according to this rumor, if this game is actually being made, the X-Men will not be in it. And this is because 20th Century Fox does not want to give Marvel any kind of money, any kind of exposure, anything like that. So if this game is true and it's coming out in 2017, do not expect to see the X-Men. Don't expect Wolverine, Magneto, Iceman, none of it. So it's most likely going to have characters from Guardians of the Galaxy like Groot, Rocket, Star-Lord, Gamora, characters like that. So if this game was coming out, I wouldn't bet my money on seeing any kind of X-Men character at all. But Andrew, have you played any of those Marvel vs. Capcom games?
I used to, like, when I was really young. I used to go to, like, the arcades and play, like, the really old ones. I never played the third one. But I mean, they were fun when I played them. I'm not a huge fan of them, but the fact that, if this is true and there's no X-Men, that's already a big negative for me, because I loved playing as Wolverine. Yeah. So
it just doesn't make any sense to me that they would do that. I mean, I somewhat understand, but then again, I mean, like, these aren't movie rights, you know? It's a game. It doesn't take place in the MCU or Fox's butchered X-Men universe. This is just a game. It's a game. Why not just let them have the characters?
Yeah, but Marvel's not gonna go out and promote these characters that their movies have no rights to. They're gonna want to use characters that they can put in their movies. It makes sense to me. I don't like it at all, but it makes sense that they'd want to put in characters like Guardians of the Galaxy or Inhumans, or, you know, ones that they know for sure that they can make movies on. I mean, we've already seen that already with their games. The only game that they have right now that has X-Men, I think, is Marvel Heroes, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I have no idea.
Maybe that what's the other one called? Contest of Champions. That might have a few, but I mean, they really they've made it clear that, you know, they're not going to be using Fox-owned characters, so I wouldn't expect X-Men anyway.
Yeah, didn't they, like, discontinue all of, like, the Fantastic Four and X-Men comics? They're not making anymore, are they?
X-Men comics are still going, okay. But Fantastic Four, yeah, that got cut.
Cut it.
Wow. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's more like Marvel versus Fox versus Capcom.
Right? That's essentially what it is.
Pretty much.
It's so stupid, the situation between with Marvel and X-Men, because of that. It's so frustrating from a fan standpoint that we have to deal with it. And in some cases, it's a blessing, because I am actually extremely happy that the MCU doesn't have the rights to the X-Men characters. But at the same time, the constant changes and shaming that Marvel does to, like, the X-Men brand outside of just the movies is so like, it's so annoying and really unnecessary, and just I hate it. But as far as the game goes, I don't know how I feel about the fourth one. I mean, I've never played I've heard any of them. I've heard good things. I probably wouldn't pick it up if it came out, but I mean, it's great for all the fans of the series that, like, they'd be getting a new one.
Yeah. I mean, like I probably wouldn't pick it up either, and it's not because like oh, I'm a DC show, like, no, it's just like a fighting game is a fighting game to me. I mean, like, probably the only now I'm kind of, it's gonna make me seem like I'm backtracking. The only fighting game I'd probably buy is Injustice 2.
Damn, Josh.
I just thought about it and I was just like, wait a second, everyone's gonna think I'm a shill. Crap. But, like, no, but seriously, the only fighting games that I have played are Injustice and Tekken. I don't like Street Fighter. I don't like Killer Instinct or any of those other ones that have come out. I just don't. I kind of stay in my.
What about Mortal Kombat?
I stay in my. Not really. I kind of stay in my little bubble. I stay in my fighting bubble. Tekken, Injustice, give me that. I'll be fine. But
see, like, I wouldn't pick it up because $60 is a lot for a game that I'm not like, oh yeah, I definitely need that. Yeah. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as of this recording, as of this podcast, the Game Awards has not happened yet, so we might end up seeing something Marvel vs. Capcom related. And if it looks good, I might consider picking it up. But as of right now, based on me having never really seen any kind of gameplay or actually playing it physically, I don't really have any interest into it. But I will keep my ear to the ground and kind of follow it if and when it comes out. So, you guys ready to move on to the next topic?
Yeah.
Word. All right. So, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know that they've been coming up with a bunch of anthology films. Rogue One's coming out within the next 2 weeks or so. There's Han Solo one's currently in the works. They're rumored for a Boba Fett one coming out in between, I think, episode 8 and 9, but we don't know how sure that is. And apparently people were just saying, okay, so since they're doing all of these prequels and they're doing these other anthology films, why don't we get one about Obi-Wan, kind of see what happened after he went into exile after episode 3, kind of see where he, what he did with the baby and all that stuff. And there was a lot of buzz around a Obi-Wan spin-off film, and people were like super excited about it. But apparently there is not one in the works at all. And if there is, it's not going to come out until after episode 9. So I guess Obi-Wan fans are kind of like up in arms about it because they figured that there'd be one in the making by now. But as of what I just said, according to Entertainment Weekly, there isn't one happening. So Alex, what do you think? First of all, do you even think an Obi-Wan spin-off film is necessary?
Okay, I actually very much want an Obi-Wan spin-off film with Ewan McGregor, partially because I'm a huge Ewan McGregor fan, but also I think that it's not necessary, definitely, but I think it would be really cool, and it's not surprising that there's not one in the works, but it's awesome that Ewan has even said himself that he'd be down for one, and he thinks there's a lot of different ideas that they could do and a lot of different places they can take it. And so, I mean, I want one to happen, maybe not now or maybe not even in like 2 years or 3 years, but I mean, eventually one would be cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
If they are going to do some more anthology films, though, I know so many people have said it, but give us the Knights of the Old Republic anthology film. Start those. Give me film adaptations from those games, and that'll be good.
I'm gonna sound like an idiot for like 3 seconds, but what does the Knights of the Old Republic storyline follow?
Okay, it's a bunch. I'm not actually 100% on this, but I know that it's way before anything in the episodes, and I'm not sure if any of the games cover after the episodes or not, like after the film episodes, but it's mostly like thousands of years before that, I think. Yeah. And I just love the Sith versus Jedi during that, and just the amount that there is and the characters during that time period. I love that time period in Star Wars, and to see that on the big screen would be crazy. So.
I think my biggest exposure to the Knights of the Old Republic was like those opening cinematics that they played at E3. Oh my god, those.
Yeah, exactly,
amazing.
And that's all. Honestly, all you need to see for me, in my opinion, to be sold on one of those movies. Like,
yeah, I mean that you could make that a movie right there. I watch that. So I mean, like, if it looks like that, or if not looks exactly like that, but if that's how it is, if that's how the live action movie would end up being, I'm there all day. So I'm down for that. Andrew, what do you think about a no Obi-Wan spin-off film, and do you think one is necessary?
I'm kind of disappointed that we're not getting one. I kind of agree it's not necessary, but it'd be fun to see, especially with Ewan McGregor, because he was easily the best part about the the prequel movies.
You didn't like Padawan Anakin? What's wrong with you? I don't like sand.
No, not a fan.
I don't like sand.
But I'm going to agree with Alex. I really want a Knights of the Old Republic movie, or Netflix show or something. Because that time period is so awesome. And I'm not going to go over everything you guys said, but like the cinematics and everything, yeah, it has to happen. It's just, I mean, I don't even know if it's part of their canon anymore, ever since Disney bought them out, but
which is another reason I think it would be cool, because then they would do it, it would be new, because they would try to make it different from what's been done before. So, I mean, that would be really cool.
Even though they wouldn't have to necessarily start over, because, I mean, that era is set like 3,000 years before A New Hope, so it's not like it's really messing with anything. So
it would take place before the prequels.
Yeah, it's way before.
Yeah, it's thousands of years before.
I thought it was 3,000. I wasn't sure, so I didn't want to say it and be wrong, but
it's like 3,000 or 5,000. It's one of them, I think.
Dang, the Jedi actually existed for that long? That's crazy.
Oh, dude, they go back before then. There was Sith and Jedi. Like, Sith used weapons before lightsabers and stuff. Like, there was special. It's crazy.
I might have to read into this. I'm actually kind of intrigued now. I'm serious.
Yeah, it's a great era. It's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like, just like you, I enjoyed Ewan McGregor's portrayal of Obi-Wan in the prequels. Arguably the best part of them. But I don't know. It's just like, I'd rather see a movie about another Star Wars character like Boba Fett or something like that before Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like a Boba Fett movie would just be really cool. like if you kind of take that feel from episode 2, and they're like I forget what is that city called. It's like the city with all the ships are just floating around. Basically, when they're in that whole you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, I know what it is. But I can't remember.
Yeah, like if the movie had like that kind of feel, like that super just bounty hunter, just like hunting people down, killing them, just that. If I had that feel, I'm happy. But yeah, I mean, if an Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off film came out, I'd watch it. I did, like I said, I liked his portrayal in the prequels, but it wouldn't be my first or second choice to make a film out of. So, I mean, one still might come down the road after episode 9, because they did say that they might stop doing the whole like episodic movies after 9, which would be kind of a bummer if you ask me. I actually really like those, but who knows? Only time will tell. But let's hop back into some more speculation, because that's like one of the main things we do on this podcast, and it's kind of interesting. All right, so John Cleese, who is what is he in again? Monty Python, or it was a group of movies called Monty. There was like the Monty Python franchise. I've never seen him, and I probably won't, because they just don't sound interesting. But
you've never seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
No. What is that?
Oh my God!
What
Josh.
is that?
Did you just say what?
Yes,
is that?
I did. What is that?
Cancel the podcast.
Yeah.
Tear everything down.
I'm out. See ya.
No, seriously though. Like, what is it? Like, I've heard the name, but I've just never watched.
Okay. Have you ever heard? Oh, Josh, I can't.
I'm sorry. Speak, man. What is it? What is it?
Okay, like.
Gather yourself.
I don't really know how to describe the like. They're going
it's
for
like
the Holy Grail.
It's like a funny take
Josh.
on King Arthur.
Yeah, like.
If that's the case, then I just rather watch Indiana Jones.
No, dude, but it's the next level of funny. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You just need to watch it. We can't explain it. You need to watch it.
It's one of those movies that you have to see. It's an experience, honestly.
Okay, I'll take your word on it. I'll add it to the list of 1,000 things I need to watch. But anyway, John Cleese, star of the Monty Python franchise, has begun following a few DC accounts. He followed Zack Snyder. He followed Ben Affleck, who are both heavily into the development of the DCEU. And Clay Enos, who's basically kind of like the DCEU's like official photographer. He takes like all the shots, like when you see a character reveal, like Superman, Batman, whatever. Clay's the one who takes those shots. He's followed John, and the UK account of Batman v Superman followed him as well. So now everyone's kind of speculating, saying, okay, maybe he met with Zack Snyder and they gave him a little role in Justice League. And now everyone would kind of be like, okay, this isn't a huge deal. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's playing a role in the DCEU. But if you remember back, before Joe Manganiello was cast as Deathstroke, he started following Zack Snyder, Ben Affleck, kind of like the same routine that we're going through now with John. So now everyone's just like, okay, he's probably playing somebody in the DCEU. We don't know yet. People have thrown some names out there. Somebody said Dr. Fate. I don't really. John's pretty old, so I don't think that they would go the Dr. Fate route, especially not this early. And then I think someone also said that he might be playing Wintergreen, which was Slade Wilson's like butler, but he was like also like a friend of him in the army. So I don't know. I'm not entirely sold, just based on this guy's track record. He's more of a comedic actor than anything, and DC doesn't really. That's not really their forte. Is comedy, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be funny. Sorry, I just had to say that. But Ander,
good job, Josh.
If John happens to be in the DCEU, who do you think he could be playing?
Just based this early, I'd probably say Wintergreen would be the most logical one, especially since they're getting ready to get Batman in production. And we know Deathstroke is going to be playing a good role in that. I guess if I had to make a guess, that'd be my choice. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Wintergreen makes the most sense, but I can't think of anything else that I would cast him as. Like, I had never even thought of bringing him into. He's the last person I thought about bringing into the DCEU, so I'd be fine with it happening, but
Yeah,
don't know.
I think because of his age, it makes it kind of harder to say, oh, he might be playing this or he might be playing that, just because on that fact alone. But, I mean, I don't know, Wintergreen, like, let's just stick with that. I mean, mind you, it's not even confirmed that he's in the movie. It's literally 100% speculation at this point, so there's no there's no real concrete evidence of him being involved in any way. Just a couple follows on Twitter, follow backs, things like that. But you know how we fans are. We kind of just take stuff and run with it sometimes. So, again, only time will tell what'll happen. And all right, moving on to the next topic, and I think it's the final topic, and it's one that I think I'm gonna let Andrew kind of speak for the majority on this one because I know how happy he is about this team. But the Inhumans have been a focal point for the past few seasons on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't really watched the show that much, but I've been watching a little bit more with this season, especially since they brought in Ghost Rider, which is a great addition, by the way. And then apparently there was supposed to be a movie coming out in Phase 4 for the Inhumans. They were going to get an expanded role, and they were going to be featured in the MCU. And the movie completely lost its date, and people were just like, okay, now Inhumans is screwed. We're not going to get anything related to the team. And then it came out a few weeks ago that ABC is looking to develop an Inhuman show, and the first 2 episodes are going to debut in IMAX. Like, they're going to be shot with IMAX cameras, so it's going to be, like, super crazy, super, like, just super great resolution, frame rate, the whole shebang. And people are, like, super excited about it. But me, personally, I'm kind of worried, especially since I'm pretty sure the Inhumans, they're, like, an otherworldly team, aren't they, Andrew, right?
Yeah, to an extent. Kind of depends on what direction they take them. Because last I heard that they're going to be shooting scenes for their moon sequences, which makes sense because the Inhumans in Marvel Comics have been stationed on the moon, their city. But I've been hearing that the movie is still going to happen. I heard that this isn't replacing it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. There's no set date for the movie, obviously, but I don't know if this is going to just be like a setup and kind of just introduce the characters and then the movie. Which I actually think would be a smart move because there's so many characters, you can't show all of them within 2 hours. So.
Yeah, they said that it's gonna be a short season. It's gonna be 8 episodes, so they have very, very, very little room for error when it comes to introducing the characters and kind of getting people to care about this team. Because this is a pretty well unknown team to just like mainstream like comic book fans. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're obviously not as well known as the X-Men. And so I think Marvel and ABC have done a pretty good job of trying to introduce them to a new audience through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And, of course, fans who know them have been asking, where's the royal family? Where's Black Bolt? Where's Medusa? And I'm assuming that this is what their answer is going to be. So I hope so. I'm excited for it. I think... And it's such a new format by releasing 2 episodes in theaters, in IMAX theaters, for a TV show.
Trying to get tickets for that thing is gonna be a nightmare, just because it has the word Marvel stamped on it. It's gonna be a hot nightmare, and I'm not really looking forward to it, but I'm gonna try my best. But Alex, haven't heard from you yet. What do you think about the Inhumans television show?
I'm really hyped for it, honestly. I've been hearing that them being on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they've been really cool on there. And I think I'm going to watch the most recent season of that. I've been hearing good things, and I'll give it a try. I did not like what I had watched of it in the early seasons, but I'll give it a shot. And an Inhumans series, I think, is definitely the right way to do it. I agree with Ander. Like, setting up all the characters and having way more time to do so is the right way to go. Mm-hmm. And I'm also happy that it's an 8-episode season instead of, like, a longer one, because sometimes whenever you try to stretch it out over too long a time, they have too much room to play with, and it's not as tight and as good of a story as it could be if it was shorter. And so I think that could end up being a really smart move for them on the story end of things. And then also I'm really, really excited for the first 2 episodes in theaters. I think that's really, really cool, especially in IMAX, like the IMAX format. That's going to be awesome. So and then the 8 episodes, I think this is going to be really, I think they're trying to make this on the level of like their Netflix shows with at least the first season of it. And then, like you said, Andrew, if they're still planning on doing the movie, that definitely makes sense too. So
Yeah, because I mean, IMAX said after this that they want to do more shows. And all I'm saying is, if DC decides
well,
to,
I did not know about that actually.
yeah, all I'm saying
I
is,
didn't hear
if DC decides maybe,
down.
okay, let's do a Titan show, call IMAX, please. That's all I'm gonna say, because that'd be dope. So, do you guys have anything else to add to the whole like Inhumans topic?
I think that's basically it.
Just I'm pretty excited for it. It's about time.
Yeah, I'm just kind of skeptical about the whole thing. I mean, obviously, it's literally just got announced, so I mean, there's really nothing really to go on, especially since I don't know the team at all. So I'm cautiously optimistic. So
Well,
see
it'll
what
be a
happens.
good introductory for you. A good.
Yeah, like I said, like we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, that's it for us today. It's a short one this week, obviously, like I said, about the holiday season coming up. Not a whole lot of news to cover, but we took our time and we talked to you for a little bit. But this is the time where we shamelessly plug our social medias. So Alex, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter at APBatman with 2 T's. And just come on by and talk comics, movies, anything Batman related. Yeah.
Do not bash Batman v Superman. That man will destroy
I mean, unless I can write essays if you want to talk Batman v Superman, but
they're long. I've seen them. Ander?
I'm on Twitter at Anderwriter. Come on by, talk comics, movies, Aquaman, whatever you want. I'm down.
Aquaman. You can find me on Twitter at Dark Knight of Ren. 1K for the Dark of the Night. You also find me on Instagram at DCEU News. Make sure you keep it locked to comicdrops.com for the latest news and superhero media. Also want to let everyone know that we are rebranding soon. We will no longer be Comic Drops. We will be the Drop News, or TDN if you want to call us. That was the whole thing that I was kind of hinting at a few weeks ago. We're still hard at work on the new site. It's going to look super dope. We're really excited. Just keep your eyes peeled to the site for the new stuff. See ya. Peace.